Hello, my name is Veronica Rodriguez, and this is my presentation that outlines my Family Talk Science Plan for ECD 322, um, Cognition, General Knowledge, Math and Science Logic Reasoning with Professor Catherine Kesey. In this presentation, I will explain how I intentionally communicate with families about science learning in my classroom. I will discuss culturally responsive communication, how I build meaningful family partnerships, challenges, and solutions when talking about science specific classroom activities where children act as scientists, alignment with the Head Start Early Learning Outcomes Framework, 5 questions families can use at home to promote scientific thinking, and how I gather ongoing feedback from families and monitor children's scientific reasoning development. Research emphasizes that early science experiences build foundational reasoning and inquiry skills that support later academic success. To ensure my communication is culturally responsive, I intentionally honor each family's language, traditions, and lived experiences. Whenever possible, I provide translated materials and visual supports so that communication is accessible. I also invite families to share cultural practices such as cooking traditions, gardening, storytelling, or nature experiences because these everyday practices naturally connect to science learning. For example, when we discuss plants growth in class, I may ask families about foods they grow to prepare at home. This positions families as experts and strengthens trust. Culturally responsive communication is essential because it ensures families feel valued and respected rather than judged or excluded. When families feel seen, they are more likely to engage in meaningful dialogue about their child's learning. Strong family partnerships rely on consistent two-way communication. I build relationships through daily drop off and pickup conversations, digital communication platforms, and family surveys. I ask families about their goals, values, and what learning looks like at home. I explicitly communicate that families are their child's first and most important teachers. My role is to partner with them, not replace their expertise. Trust is built through consistency, learning, and follow through. When families see that I genuinely value their voice, they are more comfortable engaging in discussions about scientific reasoning and development. There are several potential challenges when talking to families about science. First, some families feel they do not they do not have time for science activities. Others may experience language barriers. Some families may also feel stressed due to work schedules or other responsibilities. To address time constraints, I provide simple science prompts that can be integrated into daily routines, such as asking children to predict what will happen when ice melts or comparing snack portions. To address language barriers, I use visuals and translated materials whenever possible. If families are experiencing stress, I emphasize that science is not does not require expensive materials. Exploring water, measuring ingredients, or observing weather patterns are powerful scientific experiences. Embedding science into everyday routines aligns with research promoting accessible learning opportunities to year 2021. In my classroom, Children act as scientists every day. For example, during sink or float activities, children first observe materials. They then make predictions about what will float and what will sink. Next, they test their hypotheses. Finally, they reflect on their findings. Through this process, children demonstrate observation skills, reasoning, hypotheses, formation, problem solving, and vocabulary development. The Head Start Learning Outcomes Framework identifies scientific inquiry and reasoning as key domains in early childhood development. Additionally, research shows that inquiry based science strengthens literacy and reasoning skills in young children. Science and daily routines. Science is Science learning is embedded throughout our daily routines. During snack time, children compare quantities, divide items equally, and observe changes in texture and color. These experiences build math and science skills simultaneously. During literacy activities such as the Three Little Pigs, children explore engineering concepts by testing materials and revising structures. Block play supports spatial reasoning and problem solving. Outdoor exploration integrates math and science through measurement, observation, and classification. These examples help families see that children are scientists all day, not just during formal experiment. The Head Start Early Learning Outcomes Framework outlines domains including scientific inquiry, reasoning and problem solving, and mathematical development. When children compare snack portions, test structures during block play, or measure objects outdoors, they are demonstrating these competencies. I explicitly communicate these connections to families so that they understand how classroom activities align with developmental standards and support long-term learning goals. This transparency strengthens family confidence in our curriculum and instructional practices. To promote scientific thinking at home, I provide families with 5 open-ended questions. These include: what did your child predict today? What changes did they notice? How do you explore measuring at home? What problem did they solve? What questions did they ask? These questions encourage families to reflect on inquiry, reasoning, and problem solving rather than focusing on academic outcomes. Open ended questions support deeper cognitive development and strengthen home school connections. Ongoing family involvement is essential in tracking scientific reasoning development. I document children's inquiry skills through anecdotal notes and portfolio samples. Families are invited to share photos or observations from home through our communication platform. Monthly updates highlight growth and predictions in prediction skills, vocabulary, and reasoning. During conferences, we collaboratively review evidence and set next steps. This ensures shared responsibility and consistent progress monitoring. These references are formatted according to the APA 7th edition guidelines and correspond directly into the in-text citations used through this presentation. Each source informed my understanding and inquiry-based science, culturally responsive communication, and embedding science into everyday routines. Thank you all and have a wonderful afternoon. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.